Hey there, welcome to another Slightly Rednecked video. It's time for another quail update. Not a lot to talk about today, but got a few updates to give you, so we'll get right into it. Alright, first things first, you probably noticed that I'm outside, not inside. I've got all my quail moved outside. I finished up my hutch, my second hutch. This is pretty much the same thing as the first hutch, it's just bigger. So I'll give you a little bit of an update on how that's going, but all my quail are moved outside now, and so far they seem to be doing pretty good. One thing I'll talk about, when I moved these guys out, I moved them in the evening time, and I think that actually turned out to be a pretty good decision. It was just getting close to evening. It was just starting to get dark, so when I brought them out, they automatically calmed down pretty quick because it was pretty dark outside. So I think that was a pretty good time to go ahead and move them, and I thought I'd share that tip with you guys. If you're looking at moving some quail, then that might be a good time to do it. They moved right into their new habitat and calmed right down. All right, before I get into the new hutch, let's talk about the old hutch just a little bit. Not a whole lot of updates to give on this, except for if you've been watching my videos, you know I had a quail attack, well, excuse me, a hawk attack. Wasn't really an attack. He was just, he was sitting here watching the birds. I shoot him off that first day, posted the video, and of course he came back a couple more times. For the next 2 days, he was out here almost every time I came out. And a couple times he was sitting up on top of the cage up here, walking back and forth, trying to get to him through there. One day I came out, he was down here underneath the cage. He was hanging from the bottom of the cage, and he was trying to get him through the bottom of the cage. Now they have the block-off section over here that they can get into that's got the nursery tray in there with sand in it. So they were all pretty much inside that thing, hiding from him. But it did bring up a couple of things, and I do want to show. I got a couple of birds that got injured. Let's see if they're in here. Yeah, this rooster right here. You probably can't see him through there. Let me open this cage up. There we go. You can see this rooster right here. This one right here. He's only walking on one leg. He seems to be getting around okay right now. He's eating, still crowing, so I'm not really willing to call him out at this point right now, but I'm going to watch him pretty close. If he looks like he stops eating or anything, then yeah, I'm going to definitely go ahead and call him out and remove him from the rest of the birds. He got injured. I don't know if he injured himself or if the hawk somehow got a hold of him. I've checked him out. It looks like his leg's just bothering him a little bit. He's holding it up. He's only standing on one leg. He will put it down occasionally, and he'll use it a little bit occasionally. So that's why I'm kind of inclined to just let him be for a little while and see if he recovers. Now on that same note, let's move over to the other side of the cage here. Okay, on the same note, little one-eyed quail there. You can see her kind of in the back. Well, maybe you can see her. Let's see. She's right back there kind of hobbling around way back in the back corner back there. And you can see she's walking kind of funny. She was having some problems too there for a couple of days and still is having some problems getting around. You can see she's walking kind of funny, acting kind of weird, stumbling around, but she's actually still seems to be getting to the food and eating. Just, some kind of injury she had there that she's having a hard time with, but she's doing much better than she was just a couple of days ago. So I'm willing to give her a little bit of time, see if she recovers. She doesn't look lethargic. She's not acting other than just having a hard time walking or anything. She's acting like she's okay. So she's a little freaked out right now because I've got the door open, and that's where she's a little agitated. But most of the time she's acting pretty calm, pretty mellow, and I find her either here or in the other side of the cage, so she's getting around. So I'm going to give her a couple more days, see if she continues to recover, because she is actually doing better now. And if she does, then we'll keep her on. And if not, if she starts looking like she's really suffering, I'll go ahead and call her out. So let's take a look at the new hutch here. And I just ran it off the same watering system, put a splitter in, and ran a hose over to those waters to water them off the same bucket. Really, it's the same basic concept as this hutch. I didn't have another crate to put on it, so I just put legs on it. Those legs, go all the way from the floor to the ceiling up there, and they create the rafters up at the top to put that on. I did do some filming of building this, but I haven't got it all edited, and I'm not sure it's going to turn out that well, so I may not get it posted. But it's a pretty simple design. It's the same thing. I've just got the boxed off section over here, and I've got the open section over here. Now I've got 15 quail in here, 4 roosters, and the rest are all hens. They were all the ones that were previously stored in the garage, and now they're all out here in this outdoor hutch, and they're doing pretty good. Let me open up this section over here and give you a look at what I've got inside. Give me a second here. Okay, this is what I got inside. A couple sand boxes for them here to get into. they seem to be enjoying this a lot more than the other quail did. You know, my other birds very seldom ever use the sandboxes really, and these guys get in here and you know, dust bath in them and whatnot. And it gives them a nice place to get off the wire and to get some, you know, get somewhere where it's a little bit more comfortable. So, so far that's working out pretty well. Now I think one thing I will do, let's take a look at these guys. One thing I will do right now, the top you can see is just wire at the top, and I think that makes them feel pretty insecure because things can still get up here, and it really spooks them whenever you do. You know, they're being a ground-dwelling bird, they naturally look for cover above them. So I think what I'm going to do is take some feed sacks and at least partially cover this top section to give them a little bit more security, especially, you know, in wintertime. And that should give them a little bit. I did get this little solar light right here. There we go. It's a solar shed light from Harbor Freight. I'll put a link in the description below. This thing's worked out pretty well. It comes on automatically whenever the you know, the sun goes down, whenever it's dark. And I just leave it turned on, and it stays on for about 4 hours or 5 hours after you know, the sun goes down, and then goes out on its own. And it puts off enough light that it lights this thing up pretty well. Not daylight, but still lights it up pretty well. And I think that's going to help with egg production here. So these guys have started laying pretty good. Not quite an egg a day per bird, but still laying pretty good. So I'm looking at making these my next breeders. And I'm thinking, my plans for the future, I think, are going to be to cull the birds in this coop right here. They're getting fairly old. And I'll make that a grow out pen for my future grow outs. All right, so that's really about all that's going on with the quail right now. Again, I'm all moved outside. I'm loving this setup so far. It's so much better than what I was running in the garage. Just a lot easier to keep the mess down, keep the flies away. The quail seem to be real happy with it so far. So all in all, it seems to be working out great. We'll see how it holds up during the winter time, and that'll be some additional updates coming up. But other than that, I've got some eggs in the incubator that should start hatching out probably early this week. So I'll have a new incubation video to come out to go along with my Improving Your Hatch Rate series. By the way, if you're incubating eggs or planning on incubating eggs and you haven't watched any of those videos, I suggest you go back and take a look at them. I've got some great tips in there on how you can guarantee the best hatch rate possible out of your eggs. And other than that, I'll just keep you updated as things progress here. Let me know if you have questions that you'd like to have answered in a future video, or if you have specific topics that you would like to have discussed during that video. I've gotten a few suggestions from people, and I really appreciate the interaction. And make sure you hit the subscribe button to keep updated with it. Other than that, thanks for watching, and as always, God bless.